Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the real treasure coloring right here is talking about is that you got right here is a baby picture right here of me, of course, and of course is that you went ahead and drew is like you say parts like the outlines of you say that me is like wrapped up in my little baby blanket here. But you see right here, it's talking about for real treasure. I'm talking about it's like treasure is that you would think about is that something on the keepsakes that you would more likely like to keep forever, or maybe like to keep as I say as a reminder it is. But talking about is for real treasure is the idea that I came up with right here is basically talking about it's like whenever you're a baby that whenever you are wrapped up nice and warm in your blanket, that more likely you're probably thinking about if you can think about maybe a million things, or maybe a few things, or maybe hundreds of things. But one of those things, of course, that you could be thinking about, of course, more likely would probably be is like that if you feel safe, and it's like, and then of course on the other hand too, that safe and supported. A lot of times whenever I'm wrapped up in a blanket, if it could be it's like from the same feeling that you have from whenever you were a baby wrapped up in that baby blanket of yours. That if you had a baby blanket, but I'm sure most people have had a baby blanket, but anyway, wrapped up in a baby blanket, and then the thing about it is like if they feel loved and supported, or if they just feel warm, or if they feel that point where they just feel relaxed or whatever. It's talking about it's like who invented story time. It's talking about it's like with time. Who invented story time? It's talking about it's like a clock right here, a clock that you can pretty much use as like add whatever add the details that you want for it. Is that have right here is for story time, and of course with story time is talking about whatever books that you want to read about, or is like that type of word that you want to learn about, is exactly about that synonym for what it's like, what it means and stuff. But what you have right here is not really a go watch, but talk about for story time. That you can look at as for real treasure. Is it something that that you can learn and keep around? You say it's maybe forever, or maybe for quite a while, quite some time. But then of course, as we all think about, is like is one word that we can also think about is of course is love. It's like and all you need is love, or it goes like this. It's like you so far is knowing about that we were all born. It's like for the manage to where that we should not have no worries and no fear is what you call is for is like during our childhood life is that to during the time of life to us to enjoy the time of being a kid, and then to enjoy about the things that you do have, such as if you have talents, and then you have talents with say of drawing on paper, or it could be piano lessons or anything like that, so far as the trombone, or it could be the clarinet or anything like that. Is no, it's like in that love is all you need. Really, it's like love and support. And more likely that there may be a few people that may know how to spell it, but then don't know how to spell it. But of course, you could also think about it. It's like who invented story time. It's like for story time, more likely that you could probably think about anything that you touched whenever you were younger, or anything that you may have had whenever you were younger. Is more likely what you call is like what you call treasure item. But then on your hand too, anything that you do with your own creative hands or your own creative mind, or like it will be considered it's like for real treasure. And so far that is like you got right there with the reading glasses. You got the reading glasses right here, and then that right here, and then along with the magnifying glass right here. Other than that, is like so far is with the story. The story goes. The story goes is that you can start out with, of course, is that what the story goes is that if you want to start out with that a good example for like what you call a treasure item is to remember remember the good times. And one of those good times that I have in mind, of course, is talking about, is that, one of the good times so far with story time talking about is like knowing about exactly about, who taught you, how to draw. It's like, who taught you how to draw, a square. It's like so far as an octagon. Who taught you how to cook. That type of stuff more likely could be what you call your treasure item. Is something that you can learn that more likely that is to be trained, to be educated, to last forever. Other than that, it's like we were all born what you call to have a dream. And one of those dreams is to have is to where that you can be able to you will be able to know about different. It's like is that the fact that there is no fear, and whenever there is fear, to know is the best way to know is to concentrate really on the fact about it's like that the time of that whenever there is fear around, and know is the fact the best choices to make to be able to go above for whatever that you gotta do so far as fear goes. And you can also use the symbol as like the heart. The heart could also represent, it's like for the feeling, and then it's like for the emotion. The emotion of it's like for what you can do. It's like that gets your mind off of the fear. Other than that, it's like for the real treasure coloring.